In a developing story sparking fierce debate across the country, an active-duty U.S. Navy officer has been identified after posting a TikTok video in uniform sharply criticizing ICE over last week's fatal shooting in Minneapolis.
And I go as far as to say that people who are defending it, saying that it should have happened or that she deserved it, you should not associate with those people.
Officer Catalina Sauer, stationed in San Diego, condemned the January 7th incident in which ICE agents shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, a U.S. citizen, mother of 3, and poet.
No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God! What the fuck?
In the clip, Sauer accused agents of acting like the Gestapo, called the shooting a murder, and warned she now fears any encounter with ICE.
Shame! 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 Shame!
The video appears to violate strict Navy uniform regulations and Department of Defense rules prohibiting partisan political activity while in uniform, potentially exposing Sauer to disciplinary action, including court-martial or discharge.
And yes, I am in uniform on purpose because it is important to me for you guys to understand who this is coming from. Due to military law, I cannot speak on the administration, so I will keep it very vague. But I want to talk about ICE and not the shit on the ground. What happened in Minneapolis cannot be excused. It should not be excused. And I go as far as to say that people who are defending it, saying that it should have happened or that she deserved it, you should not associate with those people because it tells you a lot about their morals, and along with other things that are morally wrong with those kinds of people, it just makes sense, right? Now, if you were someone who can get past those morals and say, okay, well, I don't think they deserve to die, however, it was warranted due to the circumstances of the situation, it still wasn't warranted because, one, it was illegal. What they did was illegal, minus the fact that they killed somebody. ICE is not law enforcement. In their rules, they are not allowed to shoot at fleeing vehicles. They are not allowed to approach or drag people out of cars, which is what they were trying to do if you watch the video, unless they suspect that they are an undocumented immigrant, which is their whole span of, duty. She was a white woman. She was a white woman who was letting a car pass in front of her to get away from ICE. Whatever you want to call it, yes, maybe she was just trying not to get her vehicle hit by another car, sure, she was letting them go, whatever. There was no warrant for them to get out of their car and stop her and try to get her out of her car. That is the first point that I want to make, is that them stopping her was unwarranted regardless because she did not fit the description of the people they were looking for to begin with. Point number 2 being, from whatever angle you want to look at, right? Yes, the non-law enforcement dude who was standing in front of the vehicle when she began to turn out, she very well could have slightly tapped his thigh with the edge of her bumper, trying to get away from them. It does not warrant being shot in the face several times. Okay, do you want to know why? His life wasn't in danger. It is not self-defense if your life is not in danger. By the time he pulled out his weapon and shot her, she was already turned the opposite direction going away. He was out of the way of the vehicle. You can argue that point all you want, but regardless, he wouldn't have fucking died. And that is one of those things that you say, well, she was legally in the wrong. If she was legally in the wrong, that could have been fought legally in court. Had she been alive today. How is that, how do you guys not understand that? And then there's going to be people who are saying, well, this is the first time it happened. Maybe it's just this one guy. The reason I'm saying this specifically, and you guys can call it fear-mongering or whatever the fuck you want, I'm now scared. I am a white woman who works in the military. Here's my rank, here's my fucking branch, here's my name, whatever. I live in San Diego. And today, there were protests over ICE. They're here. In the event that I get stopped in an instant like that, where I'm caught up somewhere where I'm not trying to be, whether I'm in uniform or not, I'm now terrified that that is going to happen to me. You want to know why? Because if I am in a situation where an unmarked vehicle pulls up on me, and a man, several men wearing masks, which they're not allowed to do, pulls a gun on me, I'm taking the fuck off. And legally, they have no warrant to stop me, try to get in my vehicle and take me out of it, or shoot me. But it's now a problem that will continue to happen. And even in the calmer sense of things, there was a situation that happened maybe a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, I don't remember because it's hard to keep up with all of this shit. There was a sailor, a U.S. Navy sailor in Virginia Beach, who was pulled over by an ICE agent who was in uniform. And they suspected him of being an undocumented immigrant. He showed them their CAC, your common access card. Every single military member has one, which is your identification saying you are legally in the United States military. That was not good enough. This person was arrested and detained by ICE for being brown. Okay? I'm half Hispanic. Would you have guessed? No. But now, white people, this white woman was shot in broad daylight because she was not complying. They are not law enforcement. They are not the police. They are not the military. They are not a sanctioned party who dictates those things. Regardless if it was a police officer, I would still be saying the same shit. His life is not in danger. She should not have died. She was not the target demographic of what they're going after, which is unfortunate to say in itself. But it should have never happened, therefore it should not be defended. I think that the protests and the riots are okay in this instance. Her car was full of toys for her 3 children, and she was letting a car pass, and then motioned them to go forward, and then they started getting out of the vehicle, and she said, you know what? I don't want anything to do with this. Decides to move at like 3 miles an hour. My life is in danger. Oh no. Fucking kills her. You guys should be more mad at the people who are defending this man.
Get out of the car.
The shooting itself continues to fuel nationwide protests and outrage. It was pulled over during what ICE described as an enforcement operation. Bystander videos show agents approaching her vehicle before shots were fired as she began to drive away. Federal officials maintain the agent acted in self-defense, while Minnesota leaders and civil rights groups call it excessive force against an American citizen with no immigration violations.
Okay. Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Conservative commentators have tagged incoming Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth, urging swift accountability for the sailor.
People united will never be defeated.
As investigations continue, the case highlights deepening divisions over immigration enforcement in the early days of the new administration.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.